4th and 16 pass interference. This was a heck of a game penalty that gave the Chiefs life in the final minute. Kicker Harrison Butker split the uprights as the clock hit 0 to lift Kansas City to a 26-25 win over the Bengals. Patrick Mahomes threw 2 touchdowns, while Joe Burrow had a costly fumble that was returned 38 yards for a score. Here's Burrow and Jamar Chase on a tough afternoon.
It's nice being back playing ball, but this one stings a little bit.
How frustrating is this loss compared to the others?
As frustrating as I've had.
Why?
I'm going to have to kind of think about that one a couple days, and you might have to ask me that again on Wednesday.
How would you characterize your frustration level right now?
I don't like losing.
Gosh, they have to be sick after that loss. Breaking news this morning, the Chiefs running back Isaiah Pacheco is expected to land on injured reserve with the fibula injury he suffered against the Bengals. Sources telling our Adam Schefter Pacheco is undergoing additional testing Monday to determine the full extent of the injury. Huge hit here, Dan. How big of a deal is this for Kansas City?
Yeah, this is a significant loss for Kansas City in regards to just the identity, the style that Pacheco plays at. He runs about as violent as he can or as you can at that position. And this is a team that has become more balanced in the last 2 seasons. Now, that being said, I still think because the offensive line is a really good unit, especially left guard, center, right guard, right tackle, they'll be okay. Samaje Perine there, a longtime NFL vet. Carson Strong, their rookie. They're both going to be good enough. This is a loss. If they can add Jet McKinnon, I wouldn't be surprised on that. This is a loss. But I do not think this is something that derails their football season or derails their offensive performance.
All right, before we get into the game, Shannon, your reaction to Pacheco on the IR.
Yeah, I agree with Dan, because if you notice, they run the football a lot more, especially you saw it in the Super Bowl last year against the 49ers. You see them open the season up against the Ravens. They're making a conscious effort to try to run the football, to try to make it easier for Patrick Mahomes to throw the football down the field. They know they want to, teams know that the Chiefs want to throw the ball over the top. And the way to do it is that they're playing back, they're playing shell coverage. And that's why Cincinnati matches up well with them, because Cincinnati can get home with 4 without sacrificing coverage. And they play drop 7 in coverage, and that's what makes it so difficult. If you notice, Patrick Mahomes really struggles to throw in the football consistently, finding a rhythm consistently when he plays. But Isaiah Pacheco, he's the guy, as Dan described him, as a violent runner. He's going to get you those tough yards, in which allows Patrick Mahomes to put the ball in, pull it out, and throw it over the top.
All right. Essay, you care? Okay, I'm going to get into it. Dan, I felt sick, obviously, for the Bengals with this loss, right? Yeah. You know they want to beat them terribly. Were the Chiefs lucky to beat the Bengals?
Oh, of course they were, because they were outplayed. The Bengals completely outplayed the Chiefs. The Bengals were better on third down. They ran more plays. They had more yards per play. They had 100 more yards of pass game offense. They won the turnover battle. They had more sacks. I mean, they completely outplayed Kansas City. It's just that the penalty came into play. Now, it's the proper penalty. And you have to, I want to credit Kansas City. There's no question the fumble return that they have swings the game. The sack that knocks Joe Burrow and their offense out of field goal range late is huge. But the penalty, in many ways, wins the football game. And to be clear, again, that is pass interference. But the Chiefs were outplayed. And the Bengals were the better football team, really from top to bottom. And that's why I've said all offseason. He's the one quarterback the Chiefs don't want to see. Joe Burrow is the one quarterback that they don't want to see. Him and Josh, like those are the 2 guys. And Joe's the one, and the Bengals are the one that aren't scared to go into Arrowhead. The Chiefs, or the Bengals defensively, for some reason, they're the team that seems more likely than not to get Patrick to not play to his best. So the Chiefs were lucky. They made some plays, but they were lucky to find a way to win this football game. I'll give them credit for doing that, but it is because of that penalty at the end of the game is the real reason why they win the game.
Yeah, that's true. It's the real reason why they win the game and what have you. And you're saying lucky. I just don't like your reasons as to why you're pointing out how lucky that they are. If you think about Pacheco going down, okay, we're going to look at Patrick Mahomes. The Chiefs were 1 for 8 on third down conversions yesterday. We got to take that into consideration. I'm looking at the fact that, Travis Kelce had 1 catch for 5 yards. 1 catch for 5 yards. I'm going to say this. Look me in the camera. Put Dan, Dio, and Shay up there, because I love my brother from another mother, Travis Kelce. We saw more Taylor Swift than we saw Travis Kelce yesterday on a Sunday afternoon. And any other time that's applicable. That ain't supposed to happen yesterday. We supposed to see more Travis Kelce yesterday than we saw her. That's not happening. You got to get it going, bro. You got 39 receiving yards in the first 2 games. Come on now. It's time. Football season is here. Honeymoon's over. Let's handle our business, okay? We got a situation, Xavier Worthy. Everybody's raving about him, all right? What did the Bengals? I forgot the dude that called him out, but he was like, I'm not worried about this, brother. He's fast. He's fast. There you go. Said he's fast or what have you, but what's he going to do? We'll find out. And what happens? 2 catches for 17 yards. 2 catches for 17 yards, okay? Rasheed Rice had 5 catches for 75 yards, so that's good. That's a spectacular interception right there. You know, that brother talked before the game and then went out on the field and backed it up. So give credit where credit is due. You're absolutely right. The Bengals outplayed Kansas City. Kansas City lucked up. The pass interference call was the right call, et cetera, et cetera. But what I'm thinking about is this. You look at a Travis Kelce, you look at Xavier Worthy, you're talking about 3 receptions for 22 yards, and they managed to win this game. Yeah. You're not supposed to win that game when something like that happens for you on the offensive side of the ball. By the way, Patrick Mahomes, the Michael Jordan of this sport, got his 17th in QBR over the first 2 games of this season. He has not been spectacular. So I'm looking at all of those different things, and I'm saying something's got to give. Make no mistake about that. But in the end, you know what? Cincinnati did play better, but they weren't able to close the deal. And if you're Burrow, it really resonates because the man was on the verge of being 4-1 against Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. And that got stolen from them. So I don't blame him for being very, very frustrated, especially since now, I mean, once again, what is it, 0-2? 6 out of, that's like 6 times it's happened.
Yeah. And when you turn the football over 3 times and you're able to win a ball game, they're winning these games because their defense has been outstanding. Yeah. Their defense are forcing, instead of giving up touchdowns, they're giving up field goals, or they're taking the ball away. And when you can do that, you're going to have to give yourself an opportunity until Patrick Mahomes and this offense figured it out. Stephen A., you're absolutely right. In order for this offense to do and be what they think and what we think they can be, Travis Kelce is going to have to become more involved. Now, I don't know if he's able to do that. I don't know. We're going to find out. But if you think you're going to continue to skate by with Patrick Mahomes throwing for $151 and Travis Kelce having 1 catch or 3 catches, it's not going to work. Because Rasheed Rice, he's taking that next step. He seems to be a guy you can count on. Right now, Xavier Worthy is a one-trick pony. He got speed to go deep. He's going to have to do other things. Look, everybody runs the go ball, Stephen A. We know that ball, D.O., that ball's coming out between 40 and 44 yards, 2 to 4 yards from the sideline. Yep. You just can't run them. The guys are too good. They're going to pin you to the sideline and make you make a chimney throw, drop it down out of the sky. You're asking the quarterback to do too much, Xavier Worthy. You're going to have to get around him, put him in a trail position, what we call stacking, and get down the field, bro. Everybody knows you can run fast, but they know that's also all you can do currently. You're going to have to get good at running the route tree. If I'm Xavier Worthy, D.O., Stephen, this is what I do. I would go to the film department. I said I want to get tape on Tyreek Hill because that's your comparison. That's the offense that Tyreek Hill made his name for. He taught himself how to run the route tree because when he first got in, he was a punt returner, kick returner, and a package guy. They had a group of plays for him. But he turned himself into a guy that's going to get a gold jacket in about 10 to 15 years once he hangs his shoes up. Xavier Worthy. But yesterday, the Kansas City Chiefs had no business winning this game with 3 turnovers with as bad as Patrick Mahomes played.
Yeah, we'll leave it there. To add salt to the wound, the Bengals had 8 penalties for 79 yards.